So I want you to give a warm welcome to Geoff Walker, to Brett Gallant, Mark Nichols, Brad Gushue. I have to say, the whole province was kind of like on pins and needles last week. And what an exceptional week you had. I can tell you, I think blood pressure medication throughout the province kind of reached the all-time high. But I will say, I had the opportunity to meet many people from all across Canada, really. And this team really captured the hearts of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, but also Canadians. I can tell you, started the week of the Team A for Newfoundland and Labrador, Team B for some other provinces, but as the week led on, I will tell you, you were Team A for all across this country. I listened to an interview with Brad this morning with one of the local media, the VOCM, I think Fred's here, and he talked about a bucket list that he started. And when I look at the young people that are here in front of us, and Brad talked about creating a bucket list, and I'm sure for Mark and Geoff and Brett, they probably did something similar. Things that you want to do in your life. One of the things that Brad and his team they were able to accomplish this week. But none of this happens without its share of challenges. And I know, Geoff, you've had to deal with an injured shoulder. Brad, I think all the province was wondering when this hip was going to get better. Mark stepped up. But that is what teamwork is all about, when teammates pick up for each other, and that's what we saw over the last few months for Team Gushue. We also saw cheers from mile one throughout last week, but also from living rooms all across the province when people were watching this via the internet, they were watching it on their TVs. But not only your play, I will say, and lots of people came up to me and said they really admired the way you carried yourself, how professional you were. I had people that were calling me and texting me through the week, and last night when they knew we'd be hosting this event, to thank you for the great ambassadors you've been for our province. And truly, you're inspirational, and you will be inspirational to the young people across this province. And I also want to mention, if you notice, 5 red jackets right here sitting next to Seamus. This is your Memorial University men's curling team, and they had captured the 2017 Atlantic University Sport Championship, and they are leaving this week. Stand up, guys. Stand up. So these are Adam Boland, Stephen Trickett, Zach Young, and Evan Kearley. Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to represent Memorial University. They too, like Team Gushue, have had to find a way to work through the challenges, balancing their family lives, their school life. I imagine it's still a priority, right? When I think back at the history of our province, it's been 45 years. Many people in this room weren't even born at that point when the Brier was here last. So as a government and as Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, we were so pleased to have it back in our province this year. I will say that I spent quite a bit of time over the last few days with folks with Curling Canada, and to a person they all said that Brad Gushue played a big part in bringing the Brier to Newfoundland and Labrador, bringing the Brier to St. John's. As many of you would know, it goes back to a tweet that was made about bringing the Brier to St. John's. But it's fine for someone to put that tweet out on social media. It needs someone to listen. I see Danny Breen here. I know Danny was instrumental in a big part of the early days, as was the city of the St. John's. and government of the day. So I want to recognize all of this. It takes a lot of people to make this happen, but it has to start with something. The spark was set by Brad Gushue, and thank you very much for doing that. Last week we had people in the province from all over Canada, from Europe, watching what was happening here, and they enjoyed the sights and the sounds, and even a bit of a windstorm on the weekend. But it was a remarkable event, and this province did what it always does in times like this. They pulled together. This was truly a success. People are left with remarkable memories and great stories coming out of our province. And as I said at the opening ceremony, they get a chance to experience what we know is a rare find anywhere you go in this world. They had a Newfoundland and Labrador experience right here last week in St. John's. Thank you to Brett, Geoff, Mark, and Brad for being the great ambassadors. Thank you for getting this to our province. But today, ladies and gentlemen, it is about Team Gushue. So I would like to give Brad and his team a chance to bring some remarks to you. But before I do, I want to wish them the best of luck, because Team Newfoundland and Labrador, Team Gushue, will now become Team Canada. So Brad, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. I do want to say one thing right off the start. In the excitement after winning, and I had the opportunity to give a small little speech, I forgot to thank the volunteers. And the volunteers have put in the time and the effort at the Brier. I want to thank them. I see Jean and Sass here, and they kind of led the volunteer group, and they did an incredible job, and they deserve a round of applause. Yeah, this really all started with a tweet about, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, and I just asked the question, why not St. John's? And Danny contacted me after I got back from that Brier, and we started the discussion, and Jean came on, and the group started to get bigger and bigger, and it started to gain more and more momentum. And a couple of years later, we finally were awarded the Brier, and then my nerves set in. Because I knew the Brier was coming here, and I was going to be the face of it, and we were going to be expected to win it. So really for the last year, it has been a very, I would say we're nervous. We were nervous. There's no way around it. We were obviously excited for the opportunity, but we wanted to perform well for the people of St. John's and of Newfoundland and Labrador. And we did everything we possibly could to be as ready as we could be for that event. And I'm so proud of the way our team actually executed that plan, and everything came out so well. I do want to thank the province for their support of the Brier. I seen the logo right there on the ice, which looked great and was going to go out to millions of people across the country. The city, everybody that had a part in this, I do want to thank, because for me it was a big moment getting the Brier here, and obviously even bigger to win it. I want to thank all the fans for coming out and supporting it too, because every player that I talked to this week talked about the fans and how engaged they were and how excited they were and how fun it was to play in front of that crowd. So you guys did a wonderful job, and I'm obviously biased, but I truly feel it was the best Brier I've ever been a part of. You guys have obviously seen way too much of my face over the last year, on posters and obviously on TV with the Brier. So I do want to give an opportunity to let the other guys come up and say a few words, because they certainly deserve as much attention and as much credit as I get. And let me pass it over to Mark.
Thank you. always tough to follow up Brad, but I'll do my best. I told the guys I'm going first because then by the time it gets down to Geoff, there's probably not much more to be said. I just want to echo everything that Brad said. Stepping out on the ice at mile 1 for those opening ceremonies is something that I'm going to tell. It's a story that I'm going to tell forever. It was unbelievable to be out there. Jack McDuff's team, they're an inspiration to all of us and a lot of curlers across this province because they were the first Brier winners and they will always be the first Brier winners, and we're very close with many of them, especially Toby McDonald, and to hear stories about what it was like to win a Brier, and I've heard those stories from Toby for a long time, and man, does it ever feel cool to be able to tell the same story as him now. This past 12 months and 2.5 years that this team has been together has been unbelievable. I can't imagine being a part of a better team. Everyone on this team does their job. They do it so well. There's no egos. We work together, and I truly believe that it's a part of who we are as people of the province, and everyone knows what to do. They go about their business, and they just enjoy. We truly enjoy curling, and that's why we do it. It's we want to be the best, but we also really enjoy being out there on the ice together. So, and this has been the best 2.5 years of my curling career. So I want to thank the guys for, I guess Brad for taking me back. And then for Brett and Geoff letting me step in at third stone, and this year for supporting me as a skip as well. It was truly a great year, and the ups and downs, it just makes this story even better. So thanks to the fans, everyone, our families made this just unbelievable, and it was so cool to be able to share this with our friends, families, and everyone across the province. So thank you guys so much for your support.
Wow. Just an incredible couple of days, but and the guys have said a lot already. It's just what an amazing event. The support was unbelievable. We've just been over the moon here for the past 48 hours. It's really incredible. I guess I'd really like to thank, about 5 or 6 years ago, Brad gave me a call, and it all kind of started with me moving to Newfoundland to join the guys, and ever since then, ever since I came to Newfoundland, it's felt like home right away, and it's from all the people here, all the curling community, the support from everybody, and I'm really proud to say that I've won a hometown Brier here in St. John's, and yeah, just without the support of everybody here, it wouldn't mean the same as it does. So thank you very much, and I just can't wait to represent Newfoundland and Canada at the World Championships in a couple of weeks. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Wow, this is, for me as a lead, obviously, I think I'm more nervous doing this, I think, than I was for the Brier final. I also want to obviously thank my teammates, just like Brett was saying. I actually moved here 6 years ago, got the call from Brad. It's been an awesome 6 years. Amazing. When I moved here, same thing as Brett, I met a lot of people, got involved with both curling clubs. Actually worked a little bit at Ballyhaley, so I got to know a lot of the people there, a lot of the members, and obviously at Remax Center as well. The support of the curling community here and all of the city and the province has just been phenomenal for myself and obviously for our team. Obviously, want to wish the Mun Seahawks the best of luck. I think it's next week you guys take off for the Nationals, so this Friday. So really want to wish them the best of luck. Hopefully they can bring another national championship back to the province. And last thing, obviously, want to thank my team. Obviously, it was a tough playoffs for me with the injured shoulder, but the guys stepped up incredibly. Brett and Mark, they worked their butts off, having to fill in for me on the strong side of the stone, and they did just a phenomenal job. And obviously for Brad. Obviously, for Brad, making that last one was stressful for me, sitting there watching it. But we're just really looking forward to going to the World Championships in Edmonton and represent the province and the country the best we can.
Brett and Geoff got a call. The province got a tweet, and look what we get. Thank you for answering. I will just share one story going back on Sunday night. Of course, everyone was very nervous, and Danny, you were there. We were waiting to go out on the ice for the closing ceremonies. We all were hoping for the best at that point. I had the opportunity. Kevin Martin was there, Danny, if you remember. And so I went over and I was watching this and I said, "Oh, tell me, what would you do in this situation?" And when Brad was lining up in the 10th end for that, I guess, Brad, what you were doing, I don't know, was you were trying to take out 2 stones here. We were joking about this with the boys after. He looked at me and he said, "I would never try that shot." But he said, "I'm not Brad Gushue. He's got more confidence and he is going to make this shot and he's going to win the Brier watch." And it was remarkable to watch it all unfold. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and supporting Team Newfoundland and Labrador, for supporting Team Gushue, for supporting Team Canada. Thank you.